that you proud of me. I turn my back, you laughing.
It is loud and it is wet here, Coach, as we welcome you inside CenturyLink Field on a patented rainy afternoon in Seattle, Washington. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the New Orleans Saints. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Ready? 5-9. We want this.
On play action, it's Breeze. Thomas has got it, complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
Clearly, every time the Saints put together a game plan, they plan to get Michael Thomas involved early and often. 125 catches in 2018, the most in the NFL. Not bad for a kid in Pop Warner football that only played the minimum number of plays every game.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now Breeze. It's caught. Smith. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
The Saints spent a third-round pick on Tre'Quan Smith out of UCF in 2018, and what a thrilling season for him. He was the guy that caught the pass from Drew Brees that moved him past Peyton Manning to become the all-time leading passer in NFL history.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. 22 yards there, a first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Here's Breeze. Dancing to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Ready.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Play action. Breeze. Escaping the pressure right. And this one complete to Smith. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 17-yard line.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Now he's forced out right, and he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Will Lutz on for the point after. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now first and 10, just shy of the 30. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Here's Wilson to throw. Steps away to his left. He can run. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. Flushed it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that one.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. 3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And the pressure gets to him again. Unable to stop K.J. Wright there as he slips by for the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they begin this drive in very precarious field position inside their own 5.
And remember, this is a defense that's already scored once in this game, so you've got to really take care and make sure that you're blocking these guys and try and wedge the ball out from the shadow of your own end zone.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one fielded at the 5. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Mike 56. 56.
Back to the air, Wilson after the pick 6. He'll find Metcalf. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
I'm going back to you.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And his pass incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Trying to lay one up deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Intended for Will Dissly. Incomplete.
4th down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And a bit of a daunting task here for this offense as they'll start out at the 1-yard line.
I guess you could easily say there's a whole lot of real estate in front of them if they want to achieve their goal, which is get to the other end zone.
And 99 yards to go if they want to do just that. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Exit.
In his own end zone, it's Breeze. And Breeze is going to go down in the end zone, a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Hey, look. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Again, Wilson. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Wilson will throw again. Looking deep downfield. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said,
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, we heavy on the edges,
Now it's Carson. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Throwing on 2nd down, Wilson. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. 2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Here's Carson. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Now it's Wilson. Forced out to his left. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Nick Ballore, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Myers connects on the PAT, and they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. He's got Smith here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. To throw, it's Breeze. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Let's go. Let's do it.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
1st down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Check nickel. He's checking.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That really sets them back. A loss of 6.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. We see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. 25. Check.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32.
One of the surprises of the first round, the Seattle Seahawks selecting running back Rashad Penny out of San Diego State. Highly regarded, but most people thought he would go in the 2nd round.
But he did have an incredible senior year at San Diego State. Over 2,200 yards, 23 touchdowns.
He resembles Marshawn Lynch in build, but has the ability to take it the distance as well. Had 7 kick returns during his career at San Diego State for touchdowns.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Throwing now is Breeze. Open man is Michael Thomas. That one goes for 30 yards.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. Now Breeze. Being chased out left. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Ready? You ready? Check. 50 seconds, come on. 50 seconds. Go.
From the gun, it's Breeze. It's caught, Smith. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
A 43-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coach is always talking about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
From the 30 on 2nd down. Wilson going for Metcalf on the... And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. On the run, he'll let this go. This is caught inside the 15. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Keep in mind they can still get a first down here as they come up on 2nd and inches. Breeze now. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cameron Jordan able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brings up 3rd down.
So we reach halftime, and what? Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Check Mike 47. Check Mike 47.
Now Wilson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Let's go heavy. Let's go heavy.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And off his back foot, he'll heave this one deep. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Ready. 5-8. 21. Hey, easy. Go get him.
From midfield, here's Breeze. Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jared Cook, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the 3rd quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Seahawks take over first and 10.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They run for it with Carson. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape.
Ready. Yellow weighty. 54. Kill. Strip that ball. Kill.
They run with Pumphrey. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Breeze now to throw. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. He'll get 15 and a Saints 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. On the delay, this is Murray. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Keep it up, guys.
On 2nd and 2, Breeze. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk 1st. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. Yeah, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Now, look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Throwing again here. Wilson to the end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw again is Wilson. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
15 yards on the play, first down. Breeze now, 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Breeze to throw. And that is incomplete. The Pro Bowler Michael Thomas was the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of 6, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Break it down.
Ted Ginn's gonna go. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn, his first touchdown here of the new campaign as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This will be fielded at the 6. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice... And he's taken down here by the Saints. Marcus Davenport picks up his second sack of the afternoon. To try again after the sack. Wilson.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. Wilson.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
A gain of 12. First down, Saints.
Ready. Yellow lady. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. I'm on.
They'll run here with Pumphrey. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there.
They're running it.
They'll run here. It's Murray. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. This is Murray. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Hey, here we go. You're good, you're good. My 4, ready.
On the run, it's Pumphrey. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 8.
Pretty quiet, D was pretty quiet.
They fake the give. Here's Breeze. And he finds Cook. Cook stripped. The ball's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find a good balance, carrying it firm.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And that will write a finish to this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them. And
as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for New Orleans, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love it, hate me. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew. So I never get confused. Hotel, get a bird's eye view. Hotel, get a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me. Baby, I'll be phone gotta be off. Each store got locks, I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Okay. Threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket. No change. Okay. I might pass the ball.